Once I graduated and then went on to links Mark 7 and Mark 9, so they're the skidded links and the wheeled links up in Watersham in Suffolk. A couple of tours of Iraq and went to Norway and then Bosnia, and then had a sort of frank interview with the commanding officer at the time and said, right, okay, you've now been flying for 3.5 years. You're at this standard, you're a captain now, as in not captain rank, but I'm still only a sergeant or just about to get staff sergeant. But you are at a stage now where we can stream you to either Apache instructing or Special Forces. They're your sort of free options. Or you can stay on links and just mull over time here. And at the time, links wasn't well supported. It was still going through sort of issues because it was quite an old aircraft. The Apache, I saw some friends that from my old pilot's course that were just divorced, lost all their hair. Just, it wasn't a pleasant place to be. It was a lovely aircraft to fly, but you're just constantly nighttime, and it was quite a grim place. Instructing, I was like, yeah, not for me. I had the little motto: those that can do and those that can't teach, which is probably very wrong. But I thought, no, I'm not going down the instructing route. So I got selected then to go down the Special Forces route, and then I had to do various selection courses and various different flying techniques that was then transpired in 6 years of flying for Special Forces, initially abroad and then back the last 3 years with UK counter-terrorism. So that gave my CV a huge pile of worldwide experience and flying day, night on my own with goggles in very high tempo areas, which hopefully proved to any potential employer that I could cope with the stresses and strains of whatever job that I go to.
And does that involve coping with incoming fire and things like
all
that?
lots, yeah, all the time. So it's amazing how far back you can get in your seat. You've got an armoured seat, and you've got obviously your own body armour and things, and you've got your own personal weapon. You've got lots of stuff to protect yourself if you hit the ground and you've got to run. But you get so far back in that seat, and it's coming up the whole time. Most of the operations I did were all at night. Iraq and Afghanistan, but you learn to fly properly, you learn to manoeuvre the aircraft properly, you learn lots of skills and things. Unfortunately, you've got to be lucky all the time, whereas someone with a RPG or a machine gun, it's irrelevant really for them. They just pop away. So that you get used to that in a weird way. Young enough, naive enough to continue for a bit, but I couldn't have kept that tempo going for forever, and we were doing 6 weeks operations, so 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off, all night on, and that was intense.
Did you have any close calls?
Lots, yeah, lots and lots. If you lose an engine in the desert, you haven't got the performance to carry on. You're quite limited in what you can do. A few times the aircraft got hit. And quite bizarre sort of scenarios where you go and if you're going to assault a building, and the way we'd potentially be delivering the guys to assault the building on top of the building, so you go straight in, you rope the team out, so they're roping down, you lift the rope up, you get out the way, you're then supporting them because you're then the close support, so you're going around in circles supporting the guys. There might be people running around, you've got to make sure that they're the right people, that you don't engage those because you've got a big machine gun on one side as well. And then sometimes you call straight back in to pick someone up, and that could be the person that they're after that is badly injured, but you've got to pick them up, and you're only on the ground for 20 seconds maximum. Straight in, pick them up, bang, straight off to hospital, even though they're the one, but obviously making sure they haven't got any sort of devices on them. And then back in to support the guys. So it was very full on, but the level of support that we had was out of this world. All the different levels above, so you've got drones, you've got big gunships, C-130, so the big Hercules gunships further up, and these Predators, and then if one incident where a Puma was crash landed, we were involved with that. They were trying to stop a car, and they stopped the car and crashed in the process. We were late to the job because we weren't involved, but they called us in. But having just witnessed that, and then securing the area, and then seeing, unfortunately it wasn't British forces, but it was American forces come in to sweep up and get the guys the medical lot, the dust-off team, was just phenomenal, because they were always like few miles behind, but to witness it all in action and just in seconds, boom, gone, and then we could destroy the evidence was amazing.
Destroy evidence.
Because it's the propaganda thing of having aircraft parts, or even if it's body parts potentially, with the whole media thing, and they get hold of it, and that's not great. Yeah, so there's been, but that was an amazing sort of level of intense flying that's really helped now coming on into the air ambulance world.